Morning everyone. We have some sun. Makes a change from all the snow we've been having and rain. The snow's not been very deep, but it just keeps coming, and I'm looking straight into the sun, so you have to excuse. Let me just is that better? That's better. I couldn't say a thing. So I'm out in the garden and I thought I'd look at the plants that I weeded no, not yesterday, a few weeks ago, and do a bit of tidying. Need some serious tidying done. Got so much rubbish, so I'm going to start collecting it up. So let's look at the snowdrops. Look at them. They're so pretty. So they're doing all right. And oops, let me turn that around. I found a weed in that one. This is not going to bother. All the daffodils and tulips are coming out. I think my hyacinths are coming out. There's my hyacinths. Ground's solid though, look, but it's still coming through. Tulips and daffodils. I think this must have tried to flower again. Look at that. And the weather's caught it, but it's coming. This is the one I think Joe asked me about the other day, and I said I couldn't remember where I'd put it, but I think Joe bought two and I only bought one. So if you're watching, Joe, I found it, if that's the ones that you're on about, because you confused me when you said them two that we bought, because I only bought one. It don't take much to confuse me. Right, let's go and find some jobs to do. Right, if you can, oops, the ball's moving. If you can see this, see that there? That's the rhubarb coming through. Look at that. Get the wheelbarrow, turn the right way around and empty anything that I think's no good into the wheelbarrow, so I can use the soil again for other projects. So I better get started. Clear this mess up. This one I've tipped out of a pot. I've tipped it upside down to try and make the weeds die, but then I found that there was nettle roots in it, so that will go in the brown bin. When my brown bin's full at the minute, gotta wait till it gets emptied, and I'm about to use this bag of compost. It had a tomato bag. It had tomatoes in last year, so I'm about to use that to put round fruit bushes and put on top of pots to freshen them up. Now I can't remember what these was, but that looks like a bulb, so I don't really want to throw them all away, so I don't think there's anything in these. Perhaps they can go. I'm not sure. I don't know what's in that one. That one don't look like there's any bulbs coming up in it. I think they're all rubbish. Another one there, look. Don't know what they were. But I might leave that pot till it thaws out a bit and see what that bulb is. But I know this area still looks a mess because there's two bags of taters here. And they're not from last year, and they're not from the year before. From the year before that, and they got hidden somewhere. Then I found them, pulled them out and never emptied them, so I do believe that these will be going in the brown bin as well, because I don't think the soil's going to be much cop in these bags. So, but I was saying, it still looks a mess. We'll get the spade and get all this off the slabs, but when I came up, you couldn't walk on here. Everything was full of pots and all sorts. This was the dumping ground where, when I tidied other areas, this lot, it got dumped. So at least I can walk round now. I can see blooming nettles. Bloody frost don't kill the sodding nettles. I can see them coming. All this wants digging up. And I think the soil that I dig out of this will just go in the brown bin, because if I put it anywhere else, you just get sodding nettles. Let's have a look in my dahlia bed that I covered up. Right, let me show you. And you see in there, there's all the dahlia spikes, all nice and dried out, and it's not too wet, just nice and damp, so they don't dry out too much, but they're not getting a lot of rain or frost. It's not hard, nice and soft, it's not getting frosted, so they look all right. So I reckon they'll come up as soon as the weather picks up. So this is how they've been all year, so they don't get frozen or too wet, and it seems to work a treat. Oh dear, looks what's happened. Oh, I'll have to find, wonder what I tied it up with. Oh, sorry, I don't think you can see what I'm talking about, sorry. This is what I'm talking about. This is my grapevine. Hey, look. Just have to excuse me a minute while I try and wind it around this. Okay, there. Right. Hope that it will stay like that. There we are. It's sorted. Well, I've filled the wheelbarrow with compost from pots, and I found actually some compost that hadn't been used, but the bag was all ripped, so that's gone in as well. I've covered it all up to stop anything growing in it, and leave it till I can get to some of my beds. Some of them beds over there underneath all this will need a bit more soil, so it'll go in there, and it might go around my fruit bushes. Everything's all covered up for the winter, stop weeds growing. I think that pot there could do with empty, but at the minute it's holding that down. There's a couple of pots up there I've got to collect up. So if you can see, I found 3 pots. Something's growing in that one, something's growing in that one. I'm not sure about that one. I've had a trim of 1 or 2 clematis and stuff, shoved all the rubbish in there. I've got another bag of rubbish here, looks like we're going to the tip. The biggest problem is soil's got trampled all over the path and leaves, so but all this is a bit frozen, so it's a bit awkward. So more rubbish, loads and loads of pots. I've got to sort out what I want. I'm thinning down the pots this year. I don't need as many as, because I've got a load in a big plastic box, so I think I'm just going to sort out excuse me being distracted, but one little flinny is chomping on my plants again. I know they look like they're dead, but they're not actually dead, Flinny. They come back every year. Don't look at me like that. Don't give me them eyes. As if say, I'm not doing nothing, Mummy. I'm not. Right, back to the pots. So I've got all these pots. I've got a load more in that corner, and I've got a green box that's got lots in, so I might just save the bigger ones. I don't need the smaller ones. I've got actually tons of small ones, so I think they're all going to go. So I've made a big dint, but I've got a lot of things to do in the house, so I've just had about an hour out here and tidied up a bit. Start again another day when it's sunny.